Hello everyone, Xeno What If here. Here to bring in a new what if called, What If the Reds and Blues Encountered the Flood Part 1. Link down description of the fanfiction of this what if. Listen here YouTube. I do not own anything and this is not a scam. This what if will actually be more like a timeline when the Tucker, Kaboose and Sarge became Team Blue of the UNSC. Why are we here? The sun shone on the desolate canyon. On one end stood a lone fort, with two soldiers standing atop it, one in maroon armor, and the other orange. Hey, yeah, you ever wonder why we're here? The maroon one, named Simmons, asked. It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Why are we here? I mean, are we the product of some cosmic coincidence or is there really a god, watching everything? You know, with a plan for us and stuff, the orange one, named Griff, answered. I dunno, man, but it keeps me up at night. Simmons just stood there, dumbfounded, staring at his friend. What? I mean, why are we out here, in this canyon? He clarified. Yeah. What was all that stuff about God? Simmons questioned. Oh, nothing. Do you wanna talk about it? Nope. Simmons looked out over the canyon. The only things he could see were rocks and dirt. But seriously, why are we out here? As far as I can tell, it's just a box canyon in the middle of nowhere, with no way in or out. The only reason we set up a red base here is that they have a blue base over there. And the only reason they have a base over there is that we have a base over here. Well, that's because we're supposed to be fighting each other, Griff replied. But even if one day we were to pull out, and they were to take our base, then they'd have two bases in a box canyon. Whoop-de-fucking-do. What's up with that anyway? I signed up to fight some aliens. Next thing I know, Master Chief blows up the whole Covenant armada and I'm stuck here in the middle of nowhere, fighting a bunch of blue guys. Meanwhile, over on higher ground, there were two other soldiers, this time one in cobalt armor, and the other in aqua. The cobalt-armored one, named Church, was holding a sniper rifle and using it to spy on the ones in red armor. What are they doing? Asked the aqua-armored soldier, called Tucker. What? I said, what are they doing now? God damn, I'm getting so sick of answering that question, Church snapped. You have the fucking sniper rifle, and I can't see shit, so don't bitch at me because I'm not he one who's just sitting here playing with the rifle, Tucker shot back. There's just standing there and talking. That's all they ever do, they just stand there and talk. That's what they were doing last week, that's what they were doing when you asked me 5 minutes ago. So when you ask me 5 minutes from now, my answer's gonna be, they're still just standing there and they're still just talking. Tucker simply looked down at the red soldiers, before turning back to face Church. What are they talking about? You know what? I fucking hate you. Talk about a waste of resources. We should be out finding new intelligent forms of life and fighting them, Griff muttered. Yeah, no kidding. Ladies. Front and center, on the double. Barked a voice from down below. Fuck, Simmons cursed under his breath. Yes, sir. Once the two got down there, Sarge immediately began his nonsense. Hurry it up, you two. This ain't no ice cream social. Griff had never heard this phrase before. Ice cream social. Stop the filler talk, you two. Do you have any idea why I have gathered you here today? Is it because the war's over and you're sending us home? Griff asked hopefully. That's right, Private. The war's over, and you're the big hero. We're going to hold a parade in your honor. I get to drive the float, and Simmons here is in charge of confetti. Griff blanked for a few seconds. I'm no stranger to sarcasm, sir. Shut your goddamn mouth, Private, or I'll have Simmons slit your throat in your sleep. Sarge threatened. Oh, I do it, too. Simmons replied excitedly. I know you would, Private. A couple of things today, ladies. Command has seen fit to increase our ranks here at Blood Gulch Outpost Alpha. Griff sighed. Aw, crap. We're getting a rookie. That's right, Private. Our new recruit should be getting here within a week. On the other hand, we received the first part of our shipment from Command. Sarge turned towards the hill. Lopez, bring her over. A four-wheeled armored vehicle with a mounted machine gun on the back drove up to the team, with a soldier in brown armor at the wheel. The soldier, Lopez, stepped out once his task had been completed. Shotgun. Fuck. May I introduce our new light reconnaissance vehicle? It has 4-inch armor plating, a mounted machine gunner's position, and total seating for 3. This is the M12 LRV. I like to call it the Warthog. If Simmons hadn't been wearing a helmet, he'd have been scratching his head. Why Warthog? He questioned. Because M12 LRV is too hard to say in conversation, son, Sarge told him. I know, but why Warthog? It doesn't really look like a pig, Griff commented. Say that again. I think it looks more like a puma. What in Sam Hill is a puma? Sarge inquired. You mean like the shoe company? Simmons asked. No, it's a big cat, like a lion. Sarge simply stared at the orange armored soldier. You're making that up. I'm telling you, a puma is a real animal. Simmons, I want you to poison Griff's next meal, Sarge ordered. Yes, sir. Sarge walked over to the vehicle and pointed at the front of it. See here, these tow hooks look like tusks. What animal has tusks? He asked. A walrus, Griff answered. Didn't I tell you to stop making up animals? Over on the ledge, Church and Tucker were observing the discourse. Once again, Church continued to hog the sniper rifle. Instead of focusing on the soldiers arguing, however, he focused his sights on the gun-mounted vehicle. Hey, the Reds have some kind of new vehicle. It looks like some kind of big cat, Church reported. Like a puma. Yeah, that's the one, there you go. The rookies. Simmons and Griff were once again on the roof of Red Base, sharing their existential crises. The two never did much apart from this, and the occasional base upkeep Sarge forced them to perform. It also happened that the top of the base was actually a decent spot to watch out for blue team, so if Simmons or Griff saw anything that wasn't dirt, they'd be able to shoot it down. I dunno why, but I just thought back to that time in training where you tried going to the Vegas quadrant, Griff blurted. Hey, that's not exactly what happened, Simmons insisted, his tone defensive. Griff nodded. Yes, it is. You said, I am never going to the Vegas quadrant. I was never into gambling. But the next thing I know, there you are, in an escape pod headed to. Excuse me, sirs, came an unfamiliar voice. When a voice was unfamiliar, Griff knew it was either a scam caller or a rookie. But since there were no cell phones or computers in Blood Gulch, there was only one other option. Crap. I was told to report to Blood Gulch Outpost Alpha and report to whoever's in charge, the rookie stated. Griff knew he needed to clear this up. Sorry, man, but Sarge at command getting orders. Ain't nobody in charge today. Actually, Private, he left me in charge, Simmons lied. Griff couldn't believe him. You're such a kiss ass. Also, he told me if I had any trouble with you I should. Simmons cleared his throat, and even through his helmet Griff could clearly tell he was grinning. Get in the Warthog and crush your head like a tomato can. Griff just stared blankly at the maroon armored soldier. That's the worst impression I've ever heard. He turned to the new recruit, wanting to forget he'd ever heard the anti-masterpiece of acting that had just come from Simmons' mouth. So, rookie, what's your story? The rookie stood proudly. Private Donut reporting for duty, sir. I'm ready to fight some aliens. Griff's head was overflowing with questions, but he only had the mental capacity to ask 2 of them. Okay, 1, Private Donut. Looks like someone needs a new nickname. And 2, what's with the armor color? Donut looked down at his armor, then back at Griff. This is the standard issue red. I know that, but listen. There are 2 types of people who wear that color of armor, officers and recruits. And since you're not threatening to gut me like a fish, you're probably not an officer, Griff deduced. Donut looked at Simmons. He's wearing red armor. Simmons looked at his armor, then at Donut. No, my armor is maroon. Your armor is red. Then how do I get a different color of armor? Donut asked, starting to get annoyed. Simmons sighed. I'll be the Blues don't have to put up with this crap. On the other side of the canyon, outside of the base belonging to Blue Team, stood a tank. 4 treads, a cockpit the driver can see through, and a long cannon. This tank was the M808 Scorpion, the tank of tanks. Church and Tucker stood and admired it, alongside a new blue armored rookie. This rookie was telling stories about his time in training. So I say to the guy, how are you going to get the tank down to the planet? And he goes, I'll just put it on the ship, and then I go, if you have a ship that can carry a tank, why not just put guns on the ship and use it instead? Tucker was growing tired of listening to him. Hey, kid. Yeah, you're ruining the moment. Shut up. The rookie's head slightly sank. Oh, you got it, man. Church continued staring at the glorious vehicle, his eyes not having once moved since he first saw it. You know what? I could blow up the whole goddamn world with this thing. Okay, Private Donut. Here's the deal, Simmons began. I just refuse to call him Private Donut. Griff protested, partly on the verge of laughing at such a ridiculous name. Simmons simply ignored him. We've got a very important mission for you. Go to the store and pick up 2 quarts of elbow grease. Oh, and grab some, headlight fluid while you're there, too. For the Puma, Griff added. The what? Donut was not at all familiar with the verbiage used by Red Team for specific things, having only gotten there less than an hour ago. He means the Warthog, Simmons clarified, much to Griff's disagreement. You do know where the store is, right, rookie? Griff questioned. Yeah, of course I do. Donut walked down the ramp and proceeded out of the base, having no idea where the store actually was. Simmons and Griff watched the rookie wander off into the canyon. How long do you think it'll be until he figures out there's no store? Simmons asked. I say, at least a week. Once out of earshot of the Reds, Donut kicked a stone that was on the ground. Elbow grease. How stupid did they think I am? Once I get back with that headlight fluid, I'm gonna have a talk with the sergeant. Back at the blue team's side of the canyon, Tucker had come to quite a realization. You know what? I think I can pick up chicks in this thing, he remarked. Church sighed. Oh, man, listen to you. What use do you have for 2 chicks? Tucker laughed. Dude, women are like Voltron. The more you can hook up, the better it gets. Donut had walked a sizable distance from the Red Team's base and stumbled upon a cave, which he figured would lead to another section of the canyon. It was dark, and there was this odd green cloud. Luckily, Donut's helmet had oxygen support, so he didn't worry about it. However, once he delved further into the cave, he realized there was no store. There was, however, a concerningly large lump of slimy, pulsating substance. What is that? He reached out to touch it, and was disgusted by its texture. It's so wet. And sticky. I hate things that are wet and sticky. The rookie exclaimed. Suddenly, a bulge formed in the lump. The bulge burst and out came an insect-looking creature, similar in texture to the slimy substance. It crawled swiftly across the cave floor with at least 30 tiny legs. Donut shrieked and frantically fired his weapon at it, eventually killing it. What the heck was that thing? It looked like a spider. I have to go report this to the others, forget the headlight fluid. Donut quickly made his way out of the cave and escaped the area, coughing a bit on his way out. Disturbing and pulsating. Like I was saying, you could totally pick up chicks with this thing. Church sighed. It's always girls with you, nothing else. He exclaimed, irritated with Tucker. What do you expect? I don't think any of us here have seen a single alien out here, and those red guys never do anything. They just stand around and talk. Tucker shot back. Plus, it's not like anyone can get a box in this canyon. He added. Church digressed. Alright, I see your point. You know, I actually had a girlfriend back home. I was gonna marry her, but then the war happened. She was special ops, so I joined in the hopes of being stationed alongside her, but that didn't exactly work out. At least she gets to have fun killing aliens. In fact, I've heard she once beat a Sanghaley to death with his own skull. Tucker and the rookie just stood there, trying to process what they'd just been told. Is that even physically possible? Tucker finally questioned. I know, one on-site translator reported that the Sanghaley said that too, Church replied. The rookie loudly asked, did she stab him with his ribs? Listen, rookie, I have a very important job for you. There's a store, I need you to go over there and buy us a box, Church commanded, not answering his question or caring enough to do so. Oh, and pick up some tread lubricant for the tank, would you? Tucker added. The rookie left, seemingly knowing where this non-existent store was. What happens if he goes to the Reds, thinking their base is the store? Tucker asked. We don't have to deal with him. dash 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 dash. Donut came back to red base yelling, much to the confusion of Griff and Simmons. The orange armored soldier was actually more confused, surprisingly enough. What the fuck is it? There's literally nothing in this boring fucking canyon. What could you possibly be afraid of? He shouted over Donut. It was I don't know, it was slimy, and then a spider came out of it, and… Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow down, Simmons told him. You were afraid of a spider egg sac. Spider egg sacs aren't slimy. Griff objected. Simmons ignored him. Look, those things don't actually do anything unless you poke them. And only a real fucking idiot would do something like that. But I never. Okay, I did poke it, but can we at least go down and exterminate it? Donut asked. Fuck that. It's your problem, not ours, Griff told him. Simmons sighed and went downstairs into the main base. I'll go get the equipment. Wait, we have spider extermination equipment. No, but we have guns. That should be more than enough. Griff didn't argue with Simmons' logic. He and Donut followed Simmons to go kill all of the spiders. Dash 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 dash. Here it is. The cave, Donut exclaimed. Griff and Simmons were behind him, neither of them really caring about this or realizing what was truly happening. Story continues below. Griff noticed the ominous cloud as the three of them went deeper in, and he didn't like what it could mean. Simmons didn't either, but that was mainly because he watched far too much science fiction. When the trio reached the lump of pulsating matter, then they grew much more concerned. Donut, what the hell is all of this? Griff asked. How should I know? I thought you guys would. Simmons facepalmed. Well, he slapped his visor with his hand. You can't really do that with a helmet on. You guys, this could be something really dangerous. We should take a sample back to Red Base and run tests on it, like advanced scientists. Griff just stared at Simmons blankly. 1. You are a huge fucking nerd. 2. That could cause even more problems. I say we wait for Sarge to get back, let him declare war against it while we sit back and enjoy ourselves. But it might spread. Shouldn't we try to stop it? Exactly. We don't want it spreading from our base, because that's where I stashed all my Oreos. Simmons sighed. You have a point. Let's just get out of here. Griff, Simmons, and Donut all left the cavern, still not entirely sure what was down there. All Donut knew was that he felt somewhat nauseous, but that was probably just something related to being underground. Dash 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 dash. You know, it sure has been much nicer around here without him, Church told Tucker. Yeah, it's a lot quieter. Can you imagine if a chick was stationed in this canyon and saw that we had to deal with him? She wouldn't want anything to do with us. Tucker added. Church sighed. And once again, always girls with you. Tucker ignored him. Hopefully he doesn't start a conflict with the Reds or something. Church chuckled. Yeah, that would suck. ... Oh, shit. ... The rookie approached a building he believed was the store. There were 3 people inside, 2 in red armor and 1 in orange. He entered the building, wanting to see if they had whatever it was Church and Tucker mentioned. However, they did not sell boxes or tread lubricant. They only had 1 red flag. Hello. The 3 red armored soldiers turned to where the rookie was standing. Who are you? Asked the orange one. Oh, hello. My name is Kaboose, the rookie, or Kaboose, answered. I am here to buy a box. A cardboard box, if you have any of those. The orange soldier just looked at him in disbelief and confusion. This isn't a store. We're fighting against you in a war. You realize that, right? Actually, we're fighting against the aliens. I know I have blue armor like them, but don't worry, you get used to it, Kaboose corrected him. Well, he thought he did. Kaboose looked over at the corner of the base, where a soldier in red armor was sitting against the wall and clutching his head. His helmet was removed, revealing tanned skin and well-kept blonde hair. Who is the red one? The other red one? He asked. Oh. That's Donut. I dunno, he's sick or something. I don't care enough to be honest, the orange one replied. That's not very nice, you should at least ask him what's going on. I mean, you are friends, Kaboose told him. The orange soldier just stared at him. You are the weirdest and also the dumbest person I have ever met. Behind him, Kaboose could hear an aerial vehicle landing outside the base. Simmons, I dearly hope I come inside to see Griff dead on the floor. If not, I'll have to mark you for insubordination and failure to carry out your assignment. The orange soldier sighed. Fuck, Sarge is back, and I was just forgetting he even existed. Kaboose watched as he and the 3rd soldier walked out of the base. Yeah, those people are really weird. But I guess I'll just take this flag since it's free. He took the red banner by its pole and pulled it from its pedestal, then walked out the base the other way, making sure to avoid the strange people in red armor. And this is the end of part 1 of this new What If. I hope you guys like it. Don't really leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel.